edition webinar, How to Get 10X Success with Grant Cardone. I'm Eliana Raggio. I'll be your moderator today. And we are broadcasting live from Orlando at the Digital Dealer Convention here at the Rose and Shingle Creek. And we got Grant Cardone here. We have thousands of good people here at the convention, and we welcome you all. Thank you so much for being here. Today's webinar is being presented by Dealeron. And for anyone who isn't familiar with Dealeron, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency. And we're best known for our search engine optimization, our best-in-class customer service, and our award-winning websites. As a matter of fact, it's official. Dealeron customers have been winners of the Digital Dealer Website Excellence Awards, highly coveted, overall winner, 4 times in a row. We're the only company that can ever say that. So I hope you'll check out our websites after this webinar concludes. And I also want you to know that we're the only company in the industry to offer a money-back lead guarantee program. So if your website company doesn't guarantee you leads, then please check us out at Dealeron.com. We have a great show in store for you today. We've got Grant Cardone in the house, and he started in the auto business at age 23, and within 2 years was in the top 1% of car sales. Within the next 10 years, he's become an industry name. Today, you either know Grant, or you are brand new to the auto industry, because there's no possible way you don't know who he is. Grant has been talking about the importance of giving customers information, transparency, and full disclosure long before customer satisfaction was even a term. And his companies were first to market with ePencil, a design tool used by sales managers, internet departments, and BDCs to provide customers with information, choices, and comparisons. It has proven almost impossible for most to segue from the auto industry into other verticals, but Grant has done so with ease. Grant has not only positively influenced the auto industry, he's also sharing his expertise with other industries. Boats, RVs, furniture, banks, and retail stores are using his sales approaches. Most notably, Grant Cardone is also a New York Times best-selling author and host of his own radio show, the Cardone Zone. And he's the executive producer of TV's Turnaround King. Grant shares his techniques in organizations such as Morgan Stanley, Google, and even the U.S. Army. And you can find out more about him at grantcardone.com. Now, during the presentation, my online audience, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. Don't forget, a link to download a copy of this webinar recording will be available to you later, and you can find that at dealeron.com/webinar. And by the way, our good friends at Cardone Enterprises are giving away some fantastic prizes today on the webinar. Some of you will be eligible to win an autographed copy of the 10X Rule. And one of you from the online audience will also be available to win a
seminar ticket.
Seminar ticket, yeah. That's right. And you know what? We're going to get started. Are you ready, Grant?
I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to share his techniques on how to get some 10X success with Grant Cardone.
Well, let me tell you first why I wrote this book. This is the 4th book in a series of 4. This book was written right after Lehman collapsed on selling, because obviously when all the free credit went away, the world changed. People, if you didn't know how to sell, actually get money down and actually convince somebody to give you money back in 2008, 2009, selling became a very, very difficult thing to do. So I wrote this book about why salespeople are so important to all economies. And then I followed it up with this book called The Closed Survival Guide. This book is on negotiating and closing. Thank you, sir. This book is on prospecting. This is a New York Times bestseller. This was the 3rd in a series. I couldn't get a book published until I wrote the other 2. No publishing company would touch me. So I wrote those 2, went out to the marketplace, sold those 2 books. This book, there's been 4 editions of this book. The first edition had so many misspelled words that every day, literally every day, we'd get people calling us, hey, there's misspelled words on 23, 43, 63, 68. I mean, hundreds of misspelled words. And I finally got tired of, defending it, and I just finally said, look, it's a best-selling book, bro. It's not a best-written book. So that book sold 40,000 copies, okay? It's never been on a bookshelf. Very, very difficult thing to do. But it got the attention of publishers. So this book is on prospecting. And when I finished writing all those up, I realized a guy could know how to sell, close a deal and prospect and still not move the bar, because most people just don't take enough action. This book is on action. How much action do you need to take? And basically the premise of the book is set a goal, whatever goal you want. Let's say you have a financial goal, even though that's just one goal. You know, you'd have life, spiritual, your personal life, your family, your marriage, your sex life might be a goal. Who knows, right? Take that goal. Let's say it's a financial goal. You got one in your head? Let's say it's income. Okay? Set that number. This book says multiply times 10. Whatever your number was, now multiply times 10. Create a plan for that, 10x, rather than the plan for the original goal, because the truth is you're probably going to come up short on both goals. So guys, like I was working with a guy yesterday. He's like, I want to make $1 million. Good. Let's make it 10 million. Build a plan for 10. You're going to come up short on both. Which one do you want to come up short on? The 1 or the 10? Make sense? This book is also about balance, okay? There's a chapter in it talks about balance, and that the attempt to balance something. How many try to balance your career, your family, your life, your community? Look, that's just another activity. All you did was add an activity. It's incorrect. You shouldn't do that. You should set goals that are monster, unachievable goals and targets. That's going to propel the person to start taking higher levels of action. The reason most of your salespeople don't take enough action is because their targets are too low. It doesn't inspire anybody. And the last thing you'd ever want to do, is try to balance your life. Because when you try to balance this, I get my attention on balancing this, and I took my attention off of this. What I would suggest to you do is say, hey, I want to 10x every area of my life. I want greatness in every area. I want exceptional in every area, and quit trying to play this game. Instead, say, look, I want a great life with my wife. I want a great life with my kids. I want great money. I want multiple businesses. I want multiple flows. I want it all. How many of you in the room want it all? Dude, I want it all. If you study the most successful people on this planet, they don't think in terms of either or. They think in terms of all. They want it all. They don't want a piece or a part.
Thank you so much.
Just to give me a breath.
I think we're going to take a breath. Okay, how we've structured this presentation, we're going to ask Grant his most commonly asked questions. And he's going to answer them for us. You ready, Grant?
Sure. You got him in there, right?
Let's go to the first question. Okay, the first question is, what differentiates successful people, managers, and businesses? How can you tell when somebody is really, really successful?
Well, you know, to me, there's a chapter in this book about if you study the most successful people that you know in any business, the Warren Buffetts in finance, the LeBron James in basketball. You just start studying them. I've been studying them since my dad died. My dad died when I was 10 years old, and I needed mentors. And you can't go get another dad. My uncles, they had their own life going on, so they couldn't mentor me. So I was like, well, who are these people? We all have examples. The problem today in America is the example that we measure against for most things is actually diminishing. It's getting more and more average. We're becoming an epidemic of mediocrity. So if you study the really, really, exuberantly successful people, you're going to find out these people they're going to have some traits in common. Obsessed. If you've ever met a great sales manager, great salesperson, great used car manager, great finance manager, they're obsessed. They read, study, learn, eat it, breathe it. They talk about, oh, the car business is in my blood. They're obsessed people. See, obsession in our culture, though, is not a good thing. When you hear the word obsession, you start thinking the guy's got a problem, obsessive-compulsive disorder, they're diseased people. Look, if you're not getting labeled, if people are not labeling you in society as a freak case, neurotic, labeling you with some made-up phenomenons like ADD, obsessive-compulsive, you're a whack job, you're a freak, then you're not successful. Because all 10Xers, everybody that you know on their way up has been labeled by others, typically average people, that sit back in their sofas and critique the rest of the world, not do much, but they do critique exceptionally well. You know, it's interesting, I'll do a speech and somebody's like, I'd love to give you some criticism. I'm like, really? Really? Come on, really? Why don't you go do something productive? Because I'm trying to get the 10X, dude. I don't have time for criticism. Well, why would I stop and criticize you? All it does is defer me from getting this. And so the 10Xers, man, they're obsessed. They're extremely focused. They're greedy, by the way. Most of them are greedy. They want more. Greedy's not a bad thing, except to those that don't have enough. The word more is not a bad thing, except to those who? That don't have enough. The only people that say more is bad is the people that don't have enough. So you got to change your mentality. These people, the 10Xers, are they're obsessed, they're compulsive, they're focused, they're maniacs, they're going to be judged, they're going to be labeled. They're pushers, okay? Employees might not like them. Employees might not like being with them. They probably don't do a lot of small talk. They probably don't sit around and shoot the shit and find a lot of times for the BS. So they get labeled by society because they're like, oh, too focused, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. More like Alexander the Great than maybe the buddy that just wants to make friends with everybody.
Thank you very much, Grant. Okay, next question.
And you guys can also ask questions here in the live audience.
Yes. Yes. Next question is, how do you balance a 10X life with your family?
Well, okay, the whole thing about the how do you balance a 10X life, you don't balance. It's ridiculous. It's another activity. So the next time you go to your Dr. Seuss psychiatrist, psychologist, family counselor, they're all lost. They're all confused people. The counselor is more confused than the people that are going to him. You need balance in your life. You should find balance. You don't need balance in your life. You need to be a freaking maniac about everything. You know, you need speeding tickets. Speeding tickets are good, okay? People that don't get speeding tickets aren't in a hurry. I am in a hurry. I want to go places. I've gotten 8 tickets in Miami in the last 4 months. The cop says, dude, you again? I said, me again, bro. Let's do it quick. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it quick. Shit, I'd like to get a pass. Like, y'all just hook me up on the fly. He's like, man, why are you always going so fast? Because I'm in a hurry, brother. I'm in a hurry. I don't want to ride with all these people. I want to get out in front, and if I got to get a ticket because I'm going to get somewhere quicker, bring the ticket. So the ticket cost me $150, and where I was going was $1 million. But what do most people do? Oh, I got to slow down, man. I got to balance. Oh, now I got to find some time with my little girl. Now I got to find some time with my wife. No, I need to be great with my little girl, great with my wife, and great with my clients. I don't want to do this. So that's the point I was making earlier. When I'm with my kid, I want to be great. That means while I'm at work, I need to be spectacular. I need to finish deals. I need to close cycles, not just, hey, let's do some business and walk away, because that's going to load up in my head. And so when I'm playing with my little 3-year-old, my 1-year-old, I'm like, man, I need to close that deal. Shut that guy down at 10X. Lean on him. Make him buy from you. Make him take your product. Then I can actually be with my daughter. I can be with her all the way. Then when I go out with a client, party with a client, or when I come to a conference, I can be here all the way knowing this weekend I'm going to freak my little girls out. See, the 10X is not about you working with your parameters. It's about saying, no, I'm not settling anywhere. I'm getting it everywhere. If you don't have kids, I just had my first kid 3 years ago. Changed my life. You know, everybody says that, changed my life. I'm like, really? But you don't change your life. Dude, you got to change your life. So if I was getting up at 7 and now I got a baby, I got to get up at 5. I shouldn't have the baby waking me up. If the kids are waking you up, you ain't got your shit straight. You should be up before the kids. Oh, you can't say that on a webinar? You say that anywhere.
No, you can't say that on the webinar.
Why can't you?
That is the second time you cursed on my webinar today.
Okay. That ain't even a cuss word. So look, you know, I don't wait for the kid to wake me up. I want to be up before she's up, because that's a much more proactive stance than being taken out of my sleep. I want to be up, right? What, do I need to add some people? Do I need to add staff? Oh, I don't have the money to add staff. No, you're not getting money because you're not adding the staff. If you got to add staff, you got to add staff. It's an investment in me. Why would you have people working for you at your dealership and not helping you out in your home? I see a salesman making $200 grand a year, and then he's mowing his lawn on the weekends. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You can't go from being a player, being one of the top salespeople in the country, and then you wash your own car and mow your own grass. It's a small think. So the think in this country, particularly in this industry, it needs to be bigger, you know, big think. The salesmen need big think. The internet department needs big think, not little think. No cursing.
No cursing. Okay, thank you so much, Grant. Okay, let's go to the next question. This is a really good question, too. Oh, what the heck just happened there, dude?
Do you guys have any questions while she's trying to find a question? I know you do.
I have no idea what is happening.
Yeah,
with this.
the question is, when did it become that you couldn't curse on a webinar? I don't know.
Okay, we have the next question. And my lead-in to that was taking my time, actually.
Yeah.
But the next question is, what is the best way to fight procrastination? And don't lie, we all do it. Do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody has a problem with, I mean, I got a problem with procrastination. So the thing is to have that problem less than more, right? So my wife says to me constantly, the second you have a thought, we'll be driving down the road, I'm like, oh man, I just thought about this guy, I got to call. Well, by that time I'm already making a phone call. This is a habit in my life that I just build, okay? If I think about doing it, I do it. Because basically there's 4 levels of action that every human being takes. Everybody in this room, every day, goes through these 4 choices. No action, you probably have this as a question later, but it's part of this procrastination thing. Procrastination is an action, believe it or not. First, there's no action. Number 2, there is a retreat of activity. I'm actually retreating from activity, right? I thought about buying a stock and then didn't. That's a retreat. I thought about taking a customer and didn't. I thought about calling a guy back and didn't. The 3rd level is normal levels of activity. It's what most people operate on, the average. They actually compare themselves to other people. That's how you have an 8-hour day. An 8-hour day is built on action number 3, normal levels of activity. It's normal. It's socially acceptable, okay? Anytime you start hearing words like normal, socially acceptable, part of our culture, dude, you're already in trouble, okay? You don't know it. You've literally been, there's been a homicide committed, and you're the only one that doesn't know it yet. Because everybody, hey, man, it's normal. This is what we do. Let's close the place up. We did our 8 hours. You know, it's Wednesday, hump day. Thank God it's Friday. All that is a bunch of freaking communism that is basically infiltrating our culture to lower the standards from American great to American whatever. Whatever. Even that term, whatever. You know, all the new young kids today, whatever. I'm like, whatever. Shit, my life depends on this, man. It ain't whatever. The 4th level is massive. It's this, 10x. You think you needed to make 20 phone calls? Multiply times 10. That's probably closer to the truth. A guy starts a new business. He says, oh, it's going to take me 5 months to become profitable. Dude, multiply times 10. It's probably going to be 50 months. You think you needed 50 grand or 500 to start that business? Hey, start doing some multiplication, Jack. Okay, so I'm probably going to take $5 million. You're going to go through all your friends, all your family, both your dads. You're going through everybody, all their money, and then it still might not make it. See, businesses fail because people don't think like this. They think reasonable. They do all the math. Oh, man, and you cut everything, don't you? Okay, I'm going to need this many people. Even if I only get a half of that, and only get a half of that, and only get a half of that, we're still going to be profitable. Yeah, but you haven't counted on Boston. 2 freak, you know, suicide cases, take pressure pots, throw nails and Vaseline in them. You didn't bank on that in your business plan, did you? No. You didn't bank on Lehman collapse. You didn't bank on a 9/11. None of that goes in anybody's business plan, much less your tooth cracked and you had to go to the dentist. All right? Your kid got sick and you had to go get her. Nobody ever puts any of that in their business plan. The bank will look at a business plan and never look at, oh, yeah, but what about all the other stuff that just happens to people? How about that divorce that you didn't plan on, that literally sucked the life out of you for 3 years? See? So, 4 levels of action, okay? Which one of those 4 is the most dangerous? Huh? No action, retreat, back it up, average, or massive. The average is the most dangerous of all 4. The reason average is the most dangerous is because it's approved. It's approved of. People approve of average. Okay, if you don't do anything, if you stay at home, if I roll up on that couch in a fetal position all day, sooner or later, I mean, even the drug dealer is going to tell you, bro, you got to get off the couch, okay? You got to quit using my drugs, okay? I mean, you're in a coma. See, no activity will not be allowed, right? The retreat, the guy's retreating, okay, which is actually a form of number 1. Because the truth is you can't do nothing. It's impossible to do nothing. If I think about calling a client and then don't, was that no action or a retreat? See, what y'all do is y'all call it procrastination. I'm going to put it off. No, what you need to do is call it what it is. It's a freaking retreat. It's a retreat. It's a backing up. It's exactly what happened to our country when Lehman collapsed. It wasn't 1 or 2 people going backwards. It was the entire country contracting and retreating. I'm never going to spend money again. I'm never going to buy a house again. I'm never going to invest in the stock market. I'm not going to ever have a job again. I'm never going to work again. You know how many people are in retreat right now? Probably about 14 million people right now in retreat because they don't want to go back into the job place and take a job less than they deserve. Right? Maybe you got a college kid. He doesn't want to go get a job selling cars because he got a degree, and he's too good for that now. So he's in retreat, you see? The third one's average. He works for you. Mr. Average works for you. You know? He sells 12 cars a month. He compares himself to the guys that did 8. Man, I'm doing better than them. Dude, you're average. You're average, bro. You're part of a cultural problem. The only one there is to be is number 4. Monster levels of activity until the point to where people are actually labeling you. They should be labeling you. Your customers should be complaining about my follow-up. Hey, they should be calling the executives. Tell that guy to quit visiting me at 12:30 at night. This guy's a maniac. Keep him away from my kids. But I'm the right model. Would you agree? I'm the right model. I'm not the wrong one. I call a dealer at 9:15 in the morning. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 9:30. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 9:45. He doesn't call me back. I'll call him back at 10 o'clock. He doesn't call me back at 10 o'clock. I call him and say, hey, dude, I'm shipping this out if I don't hear from you in the next 7. Okay? I'm going to assume you want it, and I'm shipping it out. Oh, he called me back now. See, I called him back 5 times in a period of about 50 minutes. Your people won't call him back 5 times. Who's got the shot here, me or them? So the way I think the question about procrastination is quit playing with procrastination. Don't even worry about it. What you want to do is you want to do everything in the moment, everything in the now, right now. When you think about it, make it a habit of doing it. You see this chick, I want to tell her how pretty she is. Good, go do it. Don't add time. If you're scared of it, you definitely want to do it because 10X people do what they're scared of. They fear things and know to move toward the fear.
Great answer, Grant. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next question, which is...
Give Eliana a big hand, huh? Is she a remarkable or what, huh?
What are some low-cost ways people can get attention for themselves and their business?
Okay, so this question comes from the idea that when I wrote this book, I was actually, my wife, who's an actress, I told my wife one day, I said, you know what? For me to sell real numbers of books, I got to get a TV show. I need a TV show and a radio show, and then I could sell real numbers of books. Because if you look at all the New York Times bestsellers, dude, they all got basically TV shows. And I was saying, I wonder how I would do that. This book was written prior to the first show in an attempt to convince my wife that I could actually sell a show, that it was the right level of action. So people typically, what they do is they build their business in verticals. You even hear the word vertical used a lot. Or zip codes, or target marketing, okay? It's a good idea, but actually it's a mistake. I mean, you want to target, but you also want to go this way. I want to go this way, vertical, and get strong vertical. And I also want to go horizontal. I want to go that way. Why? Because these people, even people that won't buy my product, I want them talking about me. Why? Because it heats up my vertical. So if you've been watching my career over the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen me do a bunch of stuff this way. Vendors in here actually have used it against me, saying Grant's in other spaces. Grant's doing real estate and Google, and he's doing other stuff, so he's not paying attention to automotive. But let me tell you, when this starts heating up, okay, when the fire starts catching on all this other stuff, it heats up your vertical. Because now car dealers are saying, oh, you got a radio show? Oh, you got a TV show? Oh, I saw him on Facebook. Oh, I'm sick of his tweets. Oh, I saw him in Fox Business. Oh, I saw him in Entrepreneur Magazine. You see, you can't stop it, okay? I mean, you want your competition talking about you. It's an indicator that you're actually 10Xing. Because when I can get Joe Verdi's group to talk about me, okay, you know what that means? They're promoting me. That's what it means. I don't care what they're saying about me. I don't care how bad or ugly it is. I don't care how many untruths they tell. All I need them to do is talk about me. So I'll do everything I can to get people to hate my guts. It's easy. You just got to stay with it, man. If you could get 50% of the people to hate you, you could be president of the United States of America. But you see, most people don't get any attention. They don't get enough attention. How do you get attention? Cheap way, no-cost way. How about this? Hey! Hey!
You're the crap out of me.
You get attention like that, right? I'm a homeless guy. Does a homeless guy need to get attention? Hey! See, homeless people just don't know how to get their... They're working with the wrong techniques. The dirty clothes work. The skank works. They stink. That works. Don't change any of that. That's right. People give people to dirty people so they get away from them. That's not a charitable act you're doing. You're doing it to like, here, get away. That's the reason people give money to homeless people, right? So watch. The homeless guy just needs some training. Bro, don't change the outfit. Don't change the fingernails. Keep them dirty. Keep them skanky. And keep that stink on you, bro. It's working good. Now, what we need to do is we need to pump it up, dog. I need you on the street corner getting lots of attention. Hey! What'd that cost me? Nothing. Hey! Right? First thing you got to do is get attention. The second thing you got to do is you got to change the ask. You got to increase the ask. The homeless guy is asking for a quarter, and he ought to be asking for 100. Either way, he's crazy. Right? Hey! Give me 100, man. And you got to swag it out like a homeless guy. Come on, man. Right? Give me 100. See, all I'm trying to do is get attention. This is what you need to tell your people to do. Get attention. How many of you follow me on Facebook here? Okay? How many of you follow me on Twitter? Dude, do you know anybody that bangs social media harder than I do? I'll beat it to death until you unfriend me, unfollow me, or you decide to love me. Because I don't want the people that don't want to be with me. If you don't want me to be 10X, I'm divorcing you. I want to hit you all day long. So when the social mediums came out, I saw Facebook and Twitter. I'm like, dude, these are gifts from the gods. And nobody is going to use them right. Nobody will use these things right, especially me. I'm not looking to use them right. I don't care about doing it right. I care about beating it to death until it screams that it's being punished by me. It's a perfect vehicle. What do you care if people unfollow you? They're not coming to buy from you. Beat them to death. Just use different whips. whip here, drumstick, fireworks. Just get creative with it, highly creative ways, okay? So I posted this 3 or 4 times today. I probably posted it more than Dealer posted it. Why? Because I want attention. Why? Because attention is survival. Attention is survival. It is natural to get attention. When you were born and you were hungry, what did you do? Huh?
Cried.
Hey, I need something to eat. Right? You couldn't talk yet, so you just screamed. It was cool. It was fine. And you tear the freaking house down to get what you wanted. You weren't a salesperson. You weren't born a salesperson. You were born a closer. You were greedy. Your survival depended on it. You were at 10x. And then something happened. You grew up. You got educated. You went to church. Your mom and dad told you, don't do that, don't do that, don't touch that, don't touch that. Dude, it's wrong. It's just programming. You got to deprogram and figure out, hey, how do I act like this? How do I get attention? Hey, there's no class way to get attention. How do you get attention? You make a commitment to get lots of attention, which means, and then we'll go to the next question, you have to be willing to get criticism. And you need to rethink the way what you think of criticism, okay? The guy calling me saying, hey, you got misspelled words in your book, right? Is that good or bad? I got a book, right? Guy calls me, oh man, this is a true story. I'm living in Miami, and the guy that lives across from me, he read the 10X rule. He's a hedge fund operator, $2 billion hedge fund. He comes to me the other day, hey man, I read your book, man. I'm liking it, but I got some. Here it comes. Here comes big billionaire bitch boy. Okay? Okay? He's like, let me tell you. What? What? Really? Check it out. Check it out. The guy's like,
you're not allowed to say that word
that's
either.
not a curse word, by the way. Okay? The guy says to me, he's like, oh man, you should have put this chapter in there, and you should have put this chapter in there. I'm like, bro, have you ever written a book in your freaking life? Can you even finish a blog on your own? I've written 4 books in 4 years. You're going to give me advice? Let's go have lunch and you can buy. Point is what? I need criticism. Now, here's the trick. You want to get the criticism turned up till they hate you. You want people to hate you, folks. Every great person that has walked planet Earth has been hated before they were admired. Who can you think of? Who did you just think about when I said that? Who? No, not me. Bigger than me, bro. Who'd you think of?
Margaret Thatcher.
Okay. Well, different problem, bro.
The guy in the audience said his wife, by the way,
That's
just so you guys can hear it.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Hey, they hated him so bad they put him up on a cross, killed him in public, tortured the cat. Huh? We're still talking about him. Willing to be hated. I'm willing to stand by what I believe in and be hated. So what, dude? I'm still here. Because if you can do that, if you can stand with that hate long enough, there's going to be the other side that basically polarize and supports you. Rush Limbaugh says the people that love him listen to him 2 hours a day, and the people that hate him listen to him 4 hours a day. You need some haters.
Great answer. Great answer. Thank you, Grant. He's doing great.
Thank you
The
so
comments
much.
that are coming in are wonderful, by the way. Thank you so much. The
Oh,
comments
good.
that are coming in are wonderful. Okay, let's go to the next question. This one's a tough one. I think a lot of people have trouble with this one. What is the best way to set goals, and what can we do to ensure that we actually reach those goals?
Goals. Okay. How do you set them? Is that the first question?
Yeah, how do you set them? Yeah, how do you set them?
Yeah.
What's the right way to set them? And then how do you make sure you reach them?
The first thing that I do with my goal setting is I do it every day. Every morning and every night I write my goals down. Now, I went out with these guys last night. They're throwing tequila and margaritas around and, free booze. And, you go home at night, I'm like, wow, how do I write these goals down? But I still wrote them down. Every morning, every night, okay? Let's say I'm competing against Jim over here. I write my goals down 730 times a year. He writes his goals down once. Who wins? There's 3 times I write my goals down. Every morning when I wake up, every night before I go to sleep, and every time I lose. Every time I lose, the first thing I do is write down where I'm going. I'm driving in my car. I get in a wreck. Okay? I ding my back door. I get a flat tire. I get a ticket. Whatever. You don't pay attention to that. You pay attention to where you're going. Okay? I lose a deal that I wanted. I don't pay attention to losing the deal. I pay attention to where I'm going by writing down where it is I'm going. Okay? So the way I do it, first I commit highly to goals. Number 2, I write goals down that are unachievable. Like my goal is to make sure 7 billion people know me in this lifetime. I want 7 billion people on planet Earth to know Grant Cardone's name and makes me synonymous with selling. It's impossible. I don't have a camel. Okay? I don't have a boat to do the Nile River in. I mean, there's no way. There's back countries that there's no way. It's impossible for me to get 7 billion people to know me. So what? Well, I can still have the goal. So I want unachievable goals. I can't achieve them in this lifetime. I want to write them down every day. And what was the second part of that?
And every time you lose. And every time you lose.
What was the second part of the question, though?
How do you ensure that you
I don't worry about whether I'm achieving or not. I just grind at them all day long. You know, I just keep pushing. But my little girl told me, you might have heard this if you were in my morning meeting, but she said to me the other day, she said, Papa, you're not fair. She wanted something. She's like, that's not fair. I'm like, baby, life ain't fair. Life is not fair. Life is bad for a bunch of people. Too many people have bad lives. Y'all agree with that? It's good for a lot of people. A lot of people have a good life. It's great for that many. But it ain't fair. Fair don't come on planet Earth. Never has, never will. Let the politicians talk about fair, because it's not even real. It don't come, they can't bring it, they can't make it fair. It's bad, it's good, it's great. Which one you want? So that's what I want. I want big monster goals, okay? Big monster juicy goals, not money. Because I know this, my big juicy monster goals come with money.
Yes or no? Question from the audience. Yes or no? Question from the audience. Do you
Never.
put a date on your goals? Never.
Like I've wanted to buy apartments since, I don't know, probably since I was 25 years old. I've always known I wanted real estate. I wanted real estate, not a house. A house is a house. You know, real estate, if you study very wealthy, successful people, by the way, every car salesman should be investing in what I'm about to say. When I was 25 years old, I wanted to buy real estate because I read books about it, and they're like, oh, man, all financially successful people, including car dealers, by the way, who are really real estate people, not just car dealers, invest in real estate. So I didn't buy any real estate until I was 35 years old. I wrote down for over 5 years, I own 20 apartments. I wrote this down every day. I own 20-plus apartments. Never put a date on it. Okay, I own 20-plus apartments that cash flow 12% or more a year. I bet you I wrote that down, I don't know, thousands of times. The first apartment building I ever bought was 38 units. I wrote 20-plus. 30 days later, bought another apartment deal. It was 48 units. 3 months later, bought 95 units. Okay, so I didn't put a time on it. I just kept putting attention on the goal, you know. Keep putting attention on the goal and the plus and make it big and juicy. The biggest mistake I made, I should have written 2,000 from the get-go. I should have written, hey, I'm going to get 2,000 apartments.
Okay, let's get to the next question because we have some really great questions. So the next question is, how do we overcome the fear of the unknown and the doubt that prevents me from taking action?
The question is, how do you
overcome the fear?
Overcome the fear of the unknown? Don't. You want to be scared. You know, I talk to people now, I'm like, hey, dude, you scared? He's like, oh, no, I'm not scared of nothing. You need to be scared. Because if you're not scared, you're average. If you're not scared, you're average. You're doing average thing. You're stuck in a rut. You're playing it safe. You need to be scared. You need to be going to parties where you don't know anybody. You need to be reaching up, not sideways. You need to go get around people where you're feeling inferior. What's wrong with that, man? It's an indicator this is a new environment. You should feel that stuff. You go into an environment and you're a little insecure because you don't know anybody, you know, and you're having to, oh, man, this is uncomfortable. You want fear. Fear is an indicator that you're on the hunt. That was the first profession. It wasn't prostitution, and it was not selling. The first profession was the hunter. And we don't hunt anymore. Even these conventions. We come to these conventions as vendors and think that all the food is going to come to us because it's the convention. Dude, you got to be a hunter. You got to be a hunter.
Thank you so much, Grant. Okay, let's get to the next.
Thank you.
You're so sweet. Okay, this is a really good question, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the answer to this question. How do you stay positive when it seems like nothing's going right, nothing's going your way?
I don't know. I don't think I do stay positive. You know, I fight the deal just like everybody else does. Look, I just look for something else to crush. So I mean, one is the only reason I read the news, the only reason I watch TV, look on the internet, or read a newspaper, the only reason is to figure out how to use the news to get attention. Okay, no matter what it is. Every day I'm scanning papers every day for one reason. How can I use this to get attention? That's the only reason I read the news. I like bad news. I like it because it's juicy. Okay? It's juicy because that's all the TVs go to what? The bad news. It's Boston, it's guns, you know, the 3 girls, 10 years, whatever. They go to the bad news. I want the bad news because I want to use it, not be used by it. So if you stay busy enough, you're not going to have time for negativity. The old Rolling Stone catches no moss. That's true. You want to stay so busy, grinding out all the time, that you just don't have time for negativity. Like, man, I'd like to be a little bitch right now, but.
Really?
But, which means whiner, by the way. I'm just covering it. I'd like to be a little whiner right now, but you know what? I got this next meeting I got to go to. I don't have time. Really?
If you drop the F-bomb, we're going to have a problem.
I don't use that word.
Oh, that's the word you don't use. Okay.
Not on a webinar.
All right, let's get to the next question. What are some of the mistakes that you see when people are setting their goals?
Set them too low. You don't set them broad enough, wide enough. You set them too low, way too low, and basically you're setting them. Or number 2, you're basically setting somebody else's goals, which happens to a lot of people. You set other people's goals, you know, like the number 1 answer. How much money you want? The number 1 answer. What is it? $1 million. $1 million. Dude, that's not even your goal. That's not a goal. How would that be a goal? You didn't even put any thought into it. That's somebody else's idea of what rich is. So, you know, if you said, I want $956,751, that would be a better goal. But it's dumb. It's a dumb goal because there's not enough money anyway. Like, why you want to be poor? You know, just do the math. If you quit working today and got 40 years left to live, you got to live on $1,700 a month for the next 40 years. You can't live on it. All you did was say, hey, I want to be poor.
Once you buy in, how do you get your people to buy
He
in?
says, hey, once I buy in,
And I'm there.
once I buy in, how do I get my people to buy in? I never, ever, 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 ever ask anybody to buy in. Never. I never use that term. This term, buy-in, is more of an extension of average. Oh, I got to check with Joe and Bob and Bill. Bullshit. I ain't got to check with anybody about anything, including.
You heard that.
I ain't checking. I got this much time. This is my company. It's my way or go away. That's it. We're not doing it your way. I didn't start this business and check with you. You guys are running operations. You're a dealer in the room, okay? You bought that store, and Jeff and Jim and Jibby, they weren't even with you. I tell my wife all the time, there's going to be 2 of us at the end of the day, baby, for sure. It'll be me and it'll be you. A lot of people are going to come and a lot of people are going to go. This is our deal. We do it my way. If we're going to make mistakes, it's Grant's mistakes, not some altered version of a mistake. right? So you don't want to do it here with me? Bro, go away. And I guarantee you, your people will actually be happier with that environment.
We have an online question from Thomas in the audience. He wants to know if there's ever a limit that you put on the number of goals. Okay.
7 billion people on planet Earth. There's a small portion of them that want greatness. They want great environments where everything's crystal clear, and there's a leader that says, we can do this, but we're doing it our way, my way. All the great teams, all the great wars that have been won, all the great ventures on this planet have been done by, not by buy-in, never a buy-in. Full commitment, burn the ships, we're going ashore, no way out, let's roll. Go ahead.
Okay, so the online audience member, Thomas, wants to know if you ever put a limit on the number of goals that you set.
Never. I'm just writing goals. It's a free flow. There's no like goals. I want to be married. I want to be happy in my marriage. I want 3 kids. I want hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no, whatever, dude. I want 10 million people following me on, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's nothing. It's energy. It's just energy. It's just me trying to fill up. What is it that gets me excited?
Awesome. Thomas, thank you for the question. We're going to move on to our next question. And I think all of us want to know this. How do you avoid burnout? How do you stay away from getting burned out?
There's no such thing as burnout. Burnout is an excuse made up by people that lost their purpose. There's no such thing as burnout. It's impossible. It's garbage. Okay? It's more this balanced, holistic, Dr. Seuss garbage. It's the psychologists that have infiltrated our society. Oh, you're burned out. Don't burn out. Don't work too hard. Enjoy life. Dude, get free. Get free. The most successfully financial people on this planet are not interested in comfort. They're interested in freedom. There is no such thing as burnout. Zero. Okay? What people do is they get off purpose. That's the better question. How do you stay on purpose? What's my purpose? Am I doing what my purpose is? Because if I'm not going to be excited.
Now, if we have any questions from the audience, we'd love to take some. We do have another question from our online audience, if that's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next question is...
It's a little hard without a mic, though. Maybe we'll get Grant a microphone next time. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe if you stop cursing, I might go get one for you.
Hey.
Okay, here we go. Okay. How do you 10x without a product? We have minimal product, and I can't even get people to stop on my lot to show them something I can get for them. This one comes from Jason. Jason has minimal product.
He has minimal product, okay? Jason's listening to us right now?
Jason's on right now.
Jason, what you have is minimal creativity, okay? Because the product's not the problem. So, look, man, the create is the problem. He's got product now, he's not selling. If he's got minimal product, he's got something that's not sold. So he's making up a problem to solve. See, what happens is a guy goes into the marketplace, and then typically what happens, he doesn't get what he wants. So what he does, he comes home and tries to figure out why he didn't get what he wanted. And then he comes up with this. Oh, we don't have the right product. We don't have the right, it's the dealer's fault. The dealer didn't get me the product, so I couldn't sell it, and that's why I'm failing. Okay? No, he's just making excuses. There's a whole chapter in this book on excuses. Every excuse you will use in your lifetime is in this book. You want to know what they are so that when you go to use them, it'll ruin you for life. The rest of your life will be ruined. Every time you use it, you'll be like, oh, that's me, preparing to be a victim.
Thank you so much for the great question, Jason.
Jason, you're the man, Jason. Now get creative. See, crunch Jason with the truth. He'll love it. He'll hate you for a minute and love you for a lifetime. He'll quit you. He'll quit you. He'll go to some other place that's average or mediocre. They don't tell the truth, the full truth, the way it is, the way our government does us. He'll go to that other place and say, man, he might not ever come back to me. I guarantee you 20 years from now, he'll be like, that was the best time of my life.
Next question comes to us from Carl. Carl wants to know, if he works at a dealership as a salesperson and they only have 50 cars per month that they sell,
what
is the best advice you can give him?
He needs to check with him. Him and Jason need to get a camping bag and spoon each other. Y'all need to quit coming up with excuses, man. Look, if you're not at the right place, go to some place they got 500 cars. And then you know what you're going to be complaining about? We got too many salespeople here. You know? Look, you got to quit making excuses. There's always a reason. See, this is action. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one is it? These are people on retreat. They're coming up with excuses. Excuses are basically retreats. So you got to be able to identify, what activity am I in? If the guy had 6 appointments today, he wouldn't be talking about his inventory. He'd have a different set of problems. By the way, you will immediately know that you're living 10x when you have a new set of problems. Okay? 10x activity. When you kick your activity way up, you're going to end up with a new set of problems. New problems are good. If you have old problems, you hadn't kicked it up.
I have a really good question for you.
I hope so, because the last 2 have been a little weak.
Mark wants to know.
I'm just kidding to my friends out there in webinar town, okay?
I know.
You know, guys, I love you. I'm just playing with you, all right?
So Mark is a GM, and he says, what if the owner, the dealer, is not on board with your 10X rule program stuff?
Well, I mean, you know, what if he's not? Dude, it's your life. I mean, you guys know the truth. You know most people in this country are not doing well. Y'all agree with that or disagree? Over 50% of the people in this country don't even have $25,000 saved. Okay? Over 50% of the people in this country are worried about having enough money to even get them through the last days of their life. Dude, the country's not doing good. It used to do good because we were hunters. We were growing. We were kicking. People, my grandparents got off of a ship. Dude, when they hit land, they were like, hey, where's food at? They were hungry. They were out building. You know, they worked together. It was morning till night. People didn't say, put it off. You know? So there needs to be this, the GM needs to be like, hey, man, I'm going to blow this place up with or without permission. And I think he gets committed, you know, so committed that he starts getting those extra 20 pieces, 40 pieces, 50 pieces, and he says, hey, man, dude, move over, Mr. Dealer. Stay on your boat, you know, stay on your boat. I'll send you the financial statement, because that's what the dealer really wants from that GM anyway. What they don't want is 10x spurts. Come to a convention, get the spurt, and no follow through. Like you got to keep going.
Thank you, and thank you, Mark, for the great question.
Great question, Mark, and Jason. Great question too.
All of them great questions. Okay, next question comes to us from Robert. He says, Grant, will car sales make me rich, or should I go into real estate?
You know what? You're not going to get rich selling cars. You're going to get rich making investments. Car dealers don't even get rich selling cars. You're going to get rich taking the money. First of all, like if you do a 10x financial plan, like we do seminars today on 10x financials. The first thing to do with income is you got a job. I'm talking to him on the selling cars. First thing he has to do is get his income bigger. Your income's got to go up first. You don't do anything until you get your income. You don't even save money first. Saving is not the issue. That's what the media tells you. That's what Susie Orman tells you. Save money. No. Increase income first. That means he needs to sell another 10 cars a month, or 15 cars a month, or 30 cars a month. He needs to sell everybody he can. Every deal matters. He's got to get his income from $4,000 a month to $24,000 a month. First thing he should do is focus on that. Second thing he would do is then start figuring out how to make second plays. And the way he's going to get rich is increasing his income enough to have money left over to save that he can put in investments that are going to get him rich.
This goes back to that vertical thing. Instead of just going here, you go this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Grant.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Great question comes in from Sean. He says, people will be happier when things are clear and they have a strong leader. That being the case, what are the traits that you believe are most important in a leader?
The things I think are most important in a leader, you know, is probably just completely reverse of what you're being told every day. And for me, it's the leader. You know, for me in a sales organization, I'm a sales organization. One of my guys is struggling on the phone. I don't ask them what's going on. I ask them for a phone number. You know, guy struggle. Hey, what'd you do with that guy? I didn't sell him. Good. Give me his phone number. Oh, well, let me tell you about him. Dude, I don't need your story, bro. I need his phone number. There ain't no money in your story. The money is in the phone number. So what I'm going to do, look, I don't write books to write books. I write books because I'm trying to leave a legacy. This is who I am. This isn't a pretend for me. I'm not a guy that writes one thing and then acts some other way on it. Like if you went and spent a day with me, I guarantee I'd wipe you out. I don't care who you are in this room. I would wear you plumb out. That's who I am. This is how I operate. I'm just trying to pass a message on at a time where our culture sucks. Nobody wants to do this. Go ask your kids that are in college. Hey, you want to learn to sell? What? They hate the idea. Okay? Ask one of them if they know anything about closing and negotiating. Nothing. Zero. Okay? They can't, maybe text. How do I get what I want? All I know how to do is complain. Right? So they look at a job on the internet. 80,000, the average person gets 80,000. You know what that means? In this book, it means this. Some people get paid 60. Some people get paid 100. Most people get paid 80. Dude, do you know how to get 100? You don't get what you're worth. You get what you ask for, repeatedly ask for, and then can make sense of. So this book is about closing deals. This book is about, hey, how do I get in front of enough people that want to buy my product and the right people? See, but nobody knows how to do this. And then, see, it's why did I do this? You don't write books to make money. If I would have been doing the right thing in response to his question, these books all would have said what? How to sell a car, how to close car deals, how to prospect for car dealers. But I didn't write those books. Why? Because I'm telling you, I'm trying to solve my own problem. Okay? I could go vertical or I could go horizontal. I could go bonfire or I could go brush fire. Or hey, I could get them both burning. Give me a bonfire going, a brush fire going, just torch planet Earth. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, to what you were saying, Grant, we actually have somebody who wrote in, Adam, and he says he just inherited a sales staff who is less than 1x. They're not 10x, they're less than 1x.
Yeah.
He's given them your books,
yeah,
and he says it's very frustrating. They just simply don't want to do anything. They don't even want to pick up the books and read them. Do you have any advice for Adam? What should he do?
Yeah, I got advice. Make them read it. Hey, read the freaking book right now, okay? We're going to read it right now. In fact, you're going to read the first chapter to me right this second. Make them read it, man. Make people do. Look, people can't do what's good. They don't start what's good for them, and they don't stop what's bad for them until somebody says, hey, do it and do it now. So, like my little 3-year-old, she contributes to my household. You know, I teach her how to do stuff. She wants a cookie. I'm like, hey, you want a cookie? Go get a cookie. I ain't the cookie monster, man. You want a cookie? Go get a cookie, okay? We were on a plane coming from Venezuela. I'm like, look, there's probably 50, 60 people on this plane. Somebody's got cookies. Go work them for cookies. Don't work me. So the same thing with my employees. Like, you want a bonus? You know what your bonus is? Bring more money in here and I'll give you a bonus. I don't have any money to give you, man. See, I tell people the truth. You know, you don't like it? Quit. I had a guy come to me the other day. I need a pay raise. Good. Go get it. Go get it. But you're talking to the wrong guy. I don't have any money to give you, brother. Okay? Planet Earth has got the money. Strangers have everything you want. You had parents, and you as a parent taught your kids, don't talk to strangers. That's the dumbest thing you could ever teach a kid. Now they can't get a job.
Jeez.
Right? You got to talk to strangers. Question from the floor here.
Oh, question from the floor here. Say your name. Where are you from?
No, go ahead. No, they need to hear your webinar.
What do you can tell finance to help, like, finance managers, like, you always teach salespeople, but you never
Okay, his question is, he's a finance manager. What do you have for finance managers? You know? I mean, look.
You always make fun of them.
No. I love finance managers, man. But I'm going to tell you, you're an extinct breed if you don't get your game on. Seriously. It is the next department that will get assaulted. So, the great people never get replaced. Ever. Why did bank tellers get replaced? Bank tellers like a finance manager. Why did bank tellers go away? No, not because of machines. That's not true. Cost cutting? No. You know why they went away? Because they're freaking worthless. They add no value to the process. They are average and mediocre. All things that are average will disappear over time. I don't need the bank teller because she's not great. So we're going to replace her with a machine because it's cheaper. But if she was great, she'd become president of the bank. So what he's got to do is quit thinking about, I got a department. I got to become a finance manager. No, what he needs to do is go this way. He needs to worry more about that sales team that touches every deal before they get to your office. So I would tell you your problem is not finance. Your problem is the people before they get to you.
Next online question comes to us from Amanda. She wants to know, what was the best advice you were ever given when you first started in the car business?
The best advice I was given, well, was before I got in the car business when I was standing in an unemployment line and my uncle told me, don't go get that check. I was 23 years old. My uncle told me, all government programs are scraps. They're leftovers. Once you take the scraps, you've agreed to take the leftovers. I'm like, dude, I'm out of work. No, you're not. Right now, you're standing in the line working. I'm going backwards. Okay? Let's go get you a job, man. I'm like, well, what kind of job? He's like, get in the car business. They'll hire you. They always hire people. They'll hire anybody. This 25, 30 years ago. I said, how much money can I make? 4 or 5 grand? I'm like, hey, dang. You know, I shouldn't have gone to college. That was stupid. Particularly because the first thing the car dealer told me was, the less you know, the better off you are. So I'm like, well, I didn't even need an education. So I think the best advice I was given was from my uncle to get in the car business, and then another man named Ray Sullivan, who was a wholesaler, and said, every skill, every day you have the ability to develop skills in this business, not like other businesses, that you will be able to take with you anywhere you go. And I think that's when there was a big turning point for me to start really practicing and training and educating and reading books and digging in.
Well, I'm going to give a big hand to Grant. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Grant.
Hey, and thank you guys, okay? You guys are great. Thank you for hanging out.
Please visit him at grantcardone.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you're gonna do some giveaways, right?
I'm going to do the giveaway right now, actually. Okay, online people, it's your chance to win a ticket to Grant's next workshop.
Yep.
And it's worth $800.
No, it's worth more than that. It's worth $8 million.
Oh, it's worth $8 million.
We charge $800. Okay.
Okay, online audience. Here's what we have to do. Online audience, I want you to get ready. You have your chance to win a free ticket to Grant Cardone's next seminar.
10X seminar, though.
10X seminar, arguably valued at priceless. So here's what we have to do. I'm going to ask you a question, and I got to tell you, they made it tricky this time. It's a very, very tricky question. So I want you to pay attention. We need you to go and find the answer. And the first one to write in the correct response is going to win that free ticket. So I wish you all the very best of luck.
Dude, ask the question.
Okay. It's tricky. In order to answer it, you have to visit Grant Cardone's blog. It's a very active blog. So right now, go to grantcardone.com and click on the link for the blog. Give you a couple seconds to do this. Now, the question's coming up, so hurry up. Here's the question. Good luck, everyone. On April 10th, 2013, Grant wrote 2 blog articles. He wrote 2 blog articles on April 10th. What is the title of the article?
The 4 levels of action.
What
is the title?
what is the title of the article that discusses the 4 levels of action? First one to write in the correct response is going to win that awesome ticket. I don't have an answer yet, so people are probably still looking on the blog. It was 2 articles from April 10th of 2013. No, that's not. Oh, we have a winner. We have a winner.
You spelled it wrong, but I'm going to give it to him anyway.
Spelled it wrong, but I'm going to give it to him anyway. The winner is, and I hope I say your name right, the winner is Sean Leafdahl. Sean Leafdahl, congratulations. The answer, the correct answer was being average is dangerous. And yes, it certainly is. Sean Leafdahl, thank you so much. Please write in and let me know what dealership you're from.
You don't get 3 M&Ms.
Let me know what dealership you're from. We want to give you congratulations. And thank you also very much for attending today's amazing special edition
Thank you, guys.
webinar.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Sean is from Dick Hanna, Subaru, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram.
Love the guys at Dick Hanna.
So thank you so much for that. Congratulations, Sean. You'll be hearing from somebody over at the Cardone organization. And fantastic presentation, Grant. I can't say thank you enough. We had an amazing audience here live at the booth. I wish you all could have been here. Next time, no. Hopefully we'll see you live at the Digital Dealer Convention. I want to let everyone know this webinar was recorded. We will be posting it live on dealeron.com/webinar. And you can click on the on-demand link to go and check out this recording, or you can check out some of our past webinars and also check out our future webinars as well. And we hope you will. And next week, we have a great webinar, and invitations are going to be going out on Friday for this. The webinar is 3 groundbreaking video strategies guaranteed to sell cars. And this is with Mr. Video himself, Phil Sura of UnityWorks Media. Now, Google research shows that nearly 85% of all U.S. Internet users regularly watch online videos. So the real question is, how many more reasons do you need before you start taking this whole online video thing seriously? Well, guess what? Mr. Video, Phil Sura, he's going to tell you in this webinar, he's going to tell you how to focus on specific video strategies that you can implement immediately and improve your organic search results, website conversion and video pre-roll effectiveness. And hey, if you're ready to take advantage of everything with this video strategy, then you need to be on this webinar. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be next Thursday at 12 noon Eastern. Yeah, I know. This one was a strange one. We did it on a Wednesday or one day. But next week, we're going to return to our regular programming, Thursday, 12 noon Eastern. Of course, if you have any questions about our webinar subjects, you know how to reach me. It's Eliana@dealeron.com. I love hearing from you. I really hope you can touch with me and let me know how we're doing. Hey, and you know what? A survey is going to come out to you in just a minute. When you get that survey, please fill it out. Let me know what you thought of this live presentation. Maybe we'll do some more in the future. Let us know, and also, please, let Grant know what a great job he did. And we'll see you next week, I hope. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Hope to see you on a future webinar in our continuing education series. Have yourselves a good one.